Hello and welcome to the 30 to Lock show. My name is Joshua Reimer. I am joined by none other than Jared Block, who's over on my right. Jared, how are we feeling?
We're feeling good. Monday slate's pretty straightforward, and I think that I'm taking a few gambles that are necessary for me to be able to get to where I want to go hitting wise. So I think that this is one of the slates where I'm not too sure where ownership's going to shake out, honestly, because we have a lot of great pitching options. We have also a lot of really tough batting spots to get to. So you're gonna have to make compromises, and I'm not too sure what the field is gonna do today, but I know what I want to do. So I feel good about that. I'm gonna stick and double down on that front.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I don't know where ownership is going to be today, but I feel pretty solid about where I'm at. So I am thrilled for that aspect. Y'all, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. We are more than happy to answer them. But until you guys have questions, we're just going to kind of chill and kind of shoot the shit, talk about today's slate a little bit. I'll kick it off with the question we ask every time we get on the show. What was the one guy you couldn't fit in your lineup but really wish you could?
Ooh, today I went through so many different things today trying to fit exactly I wanted, and I think at the end of the day, I love the play of the single player, but I don't like the team necessarily, and I'm gonna go ahead and say George Springer.
Nice. I like it. I like the call. One guy that I wish I could have gone in. Man, I don't know. I feel like I got everyone that I really wanted into my lineup. That made me feel really good about today. I guess if there was one guy that I really wish I could have gotten in, at least on DraftKings, it was Jose Miranda, and I just wasn't able to make it work out. But I really like the upside Miranda has on today's slate.
Yeah, I guess you technically didn't have to go reach down all the way to get to that. He's a nice flex option in terms of FanDuel. So
Yes.
I don't know. I think that he's going to be a guy that basically goes. I don't know. I don't think he garners much, if any, ownership because people just don't know who the dude is, and he's hitting in this weird spot in the lineup, and it's a great spot for him, which is why I think he's going to do well. But we have third base is just such a powerhouse today on both sides.
Yes, it certainly is a powerhouse. There's definitely a lot of plays that I know I'm definitely pretty high on. Well, and especially Bregman. I mean, I feel like he's the main guy there. Like that Bregman play is so nice. He looks so good so far this year. It's hard to fade him.
It is, and so is Suarez, and so is Riley. Well, you make the case that Riley's the most fadeable guy, uh, but I do think that there are other guys in play like Escobar, and again, like I think Seattle's going to be one of the heavier owned spots on the slate potentially. So I do think that a lot of people go to all those guys, and even DJ LeMahieu. I know you can't play him there on DraftKings, but everywhere else is fine. And uh, people, I'll go back to my Donaldson call. I mean, where do we see that? Where like 8 hours to think about it. Where's Josh Donaldson on the board for everybody?
I mean, nowhere.
Oh boy.
Probably is the answer there. Yeah, you're probably not going to see much Josh Donaldson ownership, but I can certainly get behind it, man. I think it's a pretty solid spot to go to, and one that'll probably end up working out pretty well for you.
There were two stacks today that really threw me for a loop in terms of thinking about things and then just deciding against it. One was Miami, and the other one was Baltimore. And I think both stacks have pretty sneaky upside. They also have grave tendencies to also not work out tremendously. So those were two of the more, I wouldn't say important decisions. The important decisions came later after I decided that that wasn't feasible anymore for me, but I still like Jorge Soler quite a bit, and I do think that you will see one of Mullins or Santander leave the yard today.
Yep, I would tend to agree that you're going to see one of them, and I like one specifically because he's over in my DK build. But you'll have to be a
Mm,
member to find out which one of those two it is. He is super cheap on DraftKings. The one guy that I'm talking about is I could not believe his price tag when I saw it, and I just easy spot to lock him into.
very nice. Actually, don't know who you're talking about, so I'll go find out
Yeah,
soon.
you got to go find
Um,
out.
I was able to figure out how to get a bunch of top bats today. I have 4 top bats above 5,000 today on
Mm.
DraftKings. It's scary.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. It's a scary way to do it, but, again, I think this is a slate with the pitching we have up top that if you're gonna swing and go all out, ride with your expensive bets.
Yep. I would tend to agree. For sure. Tend to agree there.
Man, how far are you willing to pay down a catcher? Is it Maldonado, or would you rather not go that far down?
No, I love Maldonado, man. I think that's the guy. If you're not going Maldonado, though, I really do like Ryan Jeffers as well at a good price tag.
Yeah, he makes a lot of sense. Catcher's very cut and dry today on DK, which is why I was asking. I don't necessarily see people going any other direction than that. But again, I get surprised about all that stuff every single day. So
Yep. I'm just looking. Oh my goodness, I always forget that I gotta switch corns stuff out for mine.
if Mike came in here, I would wish him happy birthday. But I don't think he's in here right now.
Dang.
So, not corn,
Yeah,
but Mike B.
I saw. Yeah, I said Mike Broadhead, not Mike Broadhead. Mike P.
Again, I think this slate changes tremendously if that first game's not on the board, and you could see massive, massive ownership on a guy like Chris Bassett, who I think could potentially be way lower owned than he should be tonight's slate.
Yeah, I would tend to agree that he could be way lower owned than he should be, but I think it's a really solid spot for him overall. He's one of those another guy that like I wish I could have found a way to get him in. Obviously, no way to do that on DraftKings considering his price tag and Lopez's price tag, but I think Lopez is the top guy, man. It's hard for me to say that I'm not going to just load up on this spot for Lopez.
I have no real qualms with it, other than the fact that the matchup isn't the greatest on paper. It's still
What?
really good. Like no, I mean the lineup that rolled out is what I meant to say. Uh, I still think that they could have done better in terms of where they were able to get those lefties in there. Did I? What did I say? Did I say it's the opposite? I probably said the opposite.
No, you just
Um,
said that the line or the matchup wasn't good for him. I think the matchup's great for him against it. I don't care how
no,
many
I mean,
lefties.
sorry, I meant the lineup for Arizona probably could have been a little bit better for him at the end of the day, but he's still in a great spot.
I mean, there's still four righties in that lineup, and four righties that strike out in bunches too. So like, yeah, I guess there could have been more righties, but I still think Lopez is just in the solid spot. By the way, thank you, M Wood, subbing at tier one, and they've subbed for 13 months. Absolutely incredible. We greatly appreciate it. Brian Ash just got here. Any news I need to hear? Is there any news that you can think of? Not really on the MLB front.
No, clear weather. Not too much to discuss there necessarily, and it's a pretty straightforward slate. We've been done for a while and been able to dissect it and everything. It's not really coming down to the wire. And the last couple slates for me personally, there have been a lot of decisions that have been made in the last. Usually we try to come in with um, pretty much everything kind of close to being done after before the podcast, and today I was able to get done really really early. So I
Yeah.
think that kind of just speaks to what the slate is. For me, I think that a lot of people will be targeting that Toronto Yankees game, and I don't have a single player from it. I think it's
Yep.
going to make a big difference.
Yeah, I think that I'm interested to see that ownership on that Yankees game because if it's heavy, it could be a big difference maker for us at the end of the night. Um, all right, we're just waiting here. We got 15 minutes left. Uh, anything else you have to say? What NBA game are you more excited for tonight?
Oh, I don't really care or want to watch. I mean, I guess I should be interested just considering
What?
that's the conference that I'm in, but I don't really want to see the Heat Sixers. I really don't.
Oh yeah,
Like you have guys out on both sides. Joel Embiid's not playing game 1 or 2, and Kyle Lowry's out, Jimmy Butler's banged up, Tyler Hero's banged up. I want to go with the West Coast side of things tonight.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I thought you were gonna say you didn't wanna watch any of it tonight. I was like, "What are you talking
Oh
about,
no,
man?"
no, I'll just wait for the late game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'll wait for the late game. Besides, we have plenty of early players to watch, so it'll be nice to watch baseball and then watch some NBA. Yuli or Yandi? Asks Jay Coos. Give me Yuli. Yuli Gurriel.
I can't really find a way to go Yandi considering that's like the leverage play I have everywhere.
Yeah. Nyang, Reed, or Green tonight for that 76ers team.
There's been a lot to talk today about Paul Reed, and I want to get your thoughts on this because I told people earlier that I'm comfortable fading the Reed spot and playing the guys that I know are going to get the usage in Harris and Maxey and Harden. So I guess I'm interested to hear your thoughts. It's really, really tough to find guys that are going to be saving you money on tonight's slate. So for basketball, anyway, if I had to lean one of those guys, I would say Danny Green.
Yeah, man, I don't know what to do with that spot. I think that I want to see that starting lineup, obviously. If Reed is in that starting lineup, then I'm a lot more interested in the spot. But I don't know, maybe they roll out DeAndre Jordan in the start or something. Like I feel like we're just
Yep.
all assuming that it's gonna be Reed, and that's
We're all
fine.
we're all just waiting for the troll spot. This screams like DeAndre Jordan, 15 minutes, Paul Reed, like 8 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I
why
like your
wouldn't the
Green play.
Sixers want to go small ball?
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. They should definitely want to go small ball. And, Tobias Harris can probably play pretty solid defense uh on Bam. So, I don't know. He might get Jimmy Butler too. We'll have to see. But I like the Tobias Harris play a lot.
We go Tucker against lefties. I think that everybody in Houston is available.
Yes, I would agree with that. At least in tournaments.
Yes. I'm playing some Houston lefties myself. Not Tucker, but they're definitely all in play.
Yep.
Speaking of, I just need to post that to the website. So I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah, good point. Maybe post it to the chat.
Do you think that people will look at the last spot for Gonzalez against Houston and say, I'm not going back to it? Because I don't think that they're that dumb.
Maybe, but I agree with you. I don't think they're that dumb. I think they're a little bit smarter than that. I think they're going to see the implied total and just realize that, yeah, Houston's in that spot today where you're probably going to need some. All right, guys. Any other
Looking
questions? Go ahead.
looking back at the not to touch too much on NBA because we still have a lot of time before that, but this is like the classic Doc changes the entire lineup spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see a weird lineup from Spoelstra either.
Yeah, potentially. Potentially for sure. Could definitely happen.
Low Franco mini stack viable for tournaments. I think that's going to be a cash game stack, unfortunately. And I'm going to go ahead and fade it because I never really want to have rays that are higher than 30% owned.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. The odds
But
keep coming.
maybe Franco might not, but low definitely will be.
I would agree with that. Low definitely will be.
I don't know. I respect what Jeffries has done. I know that he can get banged up, and I know that some of the hard contact numbers scary, but he can if he finds his way to get you 20 to 25 FanDuel points, and he only gave up one. He's only been blown up once, and that was
Mhm.
against San Francisco, which I would expect to have happen in that scenario. So um, he's been pretty good at limiting damage. So
Yeah.
I think that he could do it again in this spot.
No, he definitely could do it again. I like his odds of doing that again. I want to ask you this question. We're about 10 minutes from lock, so I feel feel like it's an appropriate amount of time. How heavy do you think the chalk will be on this Yankee lineup in tournaments? Let's say. Think you get a quarter
Mm,
of the ownership on a guy like Judge or Stan? Like you think you get 25%?
I think a lot of people will be on Judge today. So I don't know about Stanton. I think Stanton probably comes in around, I would say 20 to 25%. I could see Judge and Cash being 50, around 50. I could see, just given the lack of outfield depth that we have today, it just feels like you're going to see Buxton and Judge up there, and especially if they're saving money for a guy like we talked about earlier. I mean, there's a clear path to get there.
Yeah.
So I could easily see that. I think outside of that, though, you won't see much Yankees. I think it's Stanton and Judge. I don't even know if I feel comfortable saying Hicks is going to be owned either.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think Hicks will be very owned. But I don't know. Should be interesting to see what that Yankees ownership looks like, and even more so what that Blue Jays ownership looks like. Because I think both will definitely carry some ownership, and I don't know if it's necessarily the right spot, but it definitely will be
Yeah,
interesting.
I think the Blue Jays come in heavier.
Yeah, I could see that for
Mainly
sure.
one, two, three. 1, 2, 3. I think
Mm,
so.
yeah, I don't know, man. You have to really you have to get very creative with your pitching to end up going that route.
Yes,
And
you do.
good luck. Good luck
I've
to you,
tried.
man.
I've tried and I've done it and I still don't like it. So I did not
Yeah.
end up going that way.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to go that way for sure. Um, all right, we're coming up towards lock here. Got another around 9 minutes left before we do end up hitting lock. Um, we are all set to go on my end. I have everything posted for you guys. So if you are a RotoRadar MLB member, my FanDuel lineup was just posted. DraftKings article has been posted for a while. Looking to pick up the week on a strong note today.
Love it. Yep. I like everything that came out today. I think that people will make mistakes first at pitcher and then at
Yeah,
some of the specs they're going to end up trying to go with. Pitcher kind of determines everything on where you can go with the rest of your builds. And I think that they're just going to make the wrong call on some of these guys, one specifically.
yeah. I uh I can definitely see people making the wrong call, and I'm excited to take advantage of it. Um, Brian says, I feel like whenever I stack against Gonzalez, he burns me. You like the over in the Seattle game. I do like the over in the Seattle game. Uh, Marco's definitely that guy that ends up trolling a lot of the time, but he does not do very well in the juice box. We were actually Jared and I were looking at this stat before or right after we got off the show, but he has not won a game in the juice box, and he has not had over 28 FanDuel points in the juice box once. He's had over 21 FanDuel points just once. So he usually gives up a lot of those earned runs in Minute Maid. Iconics asks, what home run calls besides the one in the articles who you think goes a yard? Who's in my article? Let's see. If I'm gonna choose one more, it's gonna be Carlos Correa.
I believe that he was in mine. So let's see who
Oof.
I have here. Yeah, he is. Uh, this guy's in there, but again, I don't think anybody calls this outside of me. So I'm going Martin Maldonado.
I like it. I like it a lot. Bro, if Martine ends up bombing for you, that'd be insane. I mean, I say bombing for you, bombing for us because he's in my DraftKings build too. So,
Yeah, 75% hard contact to lefties. I know it's a small sample size, but I'll take that.
oh
I'll take
yeah,
that
for
risk.
sure, for sure. Winker and JP Crawford mini stack. What do you think about that?
I like it. I don't think many people are talking about JP Crawford today. And he's very,
No.
very expensive on DraftKings, but on FanDuel, you're probably playing him at utility. So that's
Yep.
nice.
Also, is Rasmussen a trap? Asks Jay Coos. Uh,
I think on FanDuel, it's pretty scary. On DraftKings, I can get behind it a little bit more. I worry a little bit. Both of us worry about the hard contact for him.
Yep, we definitely worry about that. Big boy asked, must start starting pitcher. For me, it is Pablo Lopez. Love the upside that he has today, and love the safety that he has today too. Feel like it's going to be a pretty good start for him.
Yep. In GPPs, I actually feel comfortable saying there is no must-start pitcher.
There you go. Don't
Like,
blame
I
you.
really don't think that there is. It's just what do you want to do with your bets, and that's kind of where the conversation will lead you.
Yep.
Because there will be a clear there. Well, there already is a clear drop off. It's the two guys at top of 10K, and then the rest. Because Max Fried's lineup did not come out the way I wanted it to. You have Gowan, who I think comes back down to earth here a little bit tonight, starting tonight, and then everything else is very very GPP boomer bust.
Yep. Everything else is really GPP boom or bust, and we'll have to see how it goes. Buxton and Correa or Franco and Lowe. I don't even think that's close. I think it's Buxton and Correa for sure.
Yep, agreed. Can we make the
I
case though that the other side might be higher owned?
Maybe. I don't know. I wish I could tell you where ownership was today. I honestly have zero clue where it's going to be at the end of the day. So
Trap of the slate. We want pitchers or we want hitters? Let me see. Hmm.
um oh man, it's really hard to call Judge a trap. I did it in my article, but I'm not gonna do it twice just to make sure I don't tempt the baseball gods. Um we'll go with uh give me a second. I don't know what to go with necessarily.
It's a bold call, whatever you do. Like
It is.
whatever
It
you
truly
call is a
is.
trap.
We're gonna stick to our guns. We're gonna go Judge. I truly think he struggles in this matchup tonight against Stripling and then against and he doesn't even at 4,400 if he hits a double and a single, that is still barely hitting value for him. So like saying he busts it doesn't take a lot for him to end up busting. He could have a really good real life game and end up busting in this matchup. So I don't know.
Yep. He's coming in hobbled. I'm gonna say Wander Franco. That's a really bold take because I think he's gonna be highly owned.
Yeah.
I'll go one step further and say Vlad.
Yeah, I can get behind it. I
I
can get
like
behind it.
Springer much more than the rest of that team. So Bo's numbers are good too against Montgomery, but yeah, I'm not gonna end up playing Toronto tonight, even though I do like Springer.
Uh-huh.
But there is no clear. I don't think there's a clear trap on the slate. And if you are making that call, it's very contrarian. And I think it's not like Judge probably comes in with half of the field.
Yep.
I ended up double paying down at pitcher today. It's going to be really
Ooh.
scary. I might just not watch either of those games and focus on the hitting instead.
Yeah, that's probably what you want to do when you're if you're paying up for hitting that much.
Yep.
Um Gallen and Jeffries for Twins or Ross, Musin, and Yuli for a four-man Astros and two-man's Twins mini.
Mm, probably the second option.
Okay. I think I'd lean the first option. No, the second
But
option. The
then,
second option.
yeah, if you're gonna go full Astros, then go full Astros.
Yeah, I agree with that. Thoughts on Bassett? I think Bassett's a great tournament way to go. Not necessarily cash game viable, but great for tournaments. We are locked and loaded, by the way. Um, Lopez, 36% owned in my big cash game, and in my $25 cash games, he is 20% owned. Wonder if I can find a Gallon ownership really quickly. Gallon, 26% owned. I thought he'd
That,
be much more higher owned. People might. Holy crap! People in Arizona though. Huh.
what?
Varsho 25% owned. Leplo 22% owned.
Oh, dude, guys, not you guys specifically, but uh, Jordan Luplow is probably the worst play of the slate.
That is a really good way to one, get a zero in your lineup, but two, probably try to get Judge. That is definitely a way to get
Probably,
Judge.
yeah. That's incredible, actually. I'm very concerned now for everybody's
Concerned
health.
in a good way. Concerned for the rest of the industry.
They might be betting on the single game tonight because they're going to be out of this thing very quickly.
There you go. I like the take. I like the take. All right, Jared. Any final thoughts before we get out of here, man?
The Arizona ownerships is shocking. We didn't talk about them a single like second today. So,
Yeah.
good to be back here on the Monday shows, and we're stoked for another week of MLB content. We got a big weekend coming up with UFC too, so just it's a
Mhm.
great week to start building that bankroll and
Yes, it
using it
is.
for everything else.
Yes, it is. Certainly a good week. Let's start it off right, get a couple dubs today, and keep on moving forward. But thank y'all for hanging out with us. Greatly appreciate it. And let's smash. As always, my name is Joshua Reimer. Good night and good